Okay, so it's finally happened. The news is broke.
Jon Jones called us last night and retired. Jon Jones is officially retired. Tom Aspinall is the heavyweight champion of the UFC.
Jon Jones is done. For good. Finally, after all this time, we are rid of Jon Jones and his bullshit antics that he's been going on about for fucking ever. We're finally done. We're finally through this weird middle ground phase for the heavyweight division. The evil creature has been slain by time, by Father Time, I guess, because he's retiring. This, to me, is amazing. The fact that he's retired and gone, the fact that he's gone, amazing. What is horrible about this to me is that the UFC let him do this for this long and then he gets to retire as champion after like a year and 7 months of waiting for the Aspinall fight. It's the worst thing ever. He should have been stripped. He should have been defamed by the UFC. But none of that treatment went his way. He got away with it scot-free, and he gets to retire on top, which it to me is at a complete injustice to the world and ruins my mood completely that we don't get to see him get slept by Tom Aspinall. But it worked. Everybody's comments under every single Instagram post that the UFC has ever posted as of recently was just strip Jon Jones comments. Every single one was about stripping Jon Jones, even on comments relating to anything, random fight nights, any other fighter imaginable. Every single post had Jon Jones getting shit on in the comment section every single time the top comment. It was very nice to see, and it is, in my opinion, the reason why this has gone the way it's gone. They're okay with holding him on, with letting him do this for fucking ever, for perpetuating his bullshit. But then people started to get loud. People started to yap. People started to comment these things. The petition came out, 200,000 signatures or some shit. People wanted him gone, and the UFC had no choice but to give Jon Jones an ultimatum. 2 weeks' notice is what Dana White said. I'll give him 2 weeks, and if he accepts, and he accepts. If he doesn't, he's done. And Jon Jones was forced to retire. To me, definitely a win. How the UFC handled it is bullshit, and it speaks to the weakness of the company as of late. In my opinion, the company is at a low point, and letting Jon Jones get away with this for so long and just get out is so annoying. But the good that comes out of this is now we have Tom Aspinall as an undisputed champion, undisputed heavyweight champion of the UFC, and we have a lot that can be done with Tom Aspinall. Sadly, none of it is as interesting as the Jon Jones fight. That is the biggest fight. That was always the biggest fight to make. But they couldn't get it done, even though the UFC gave Jon Jones the 40 million. He requested $40 million to take the Tom Aspinall fight. The UFC was willing to compromise and make that happen. Jon Jones still didn't take it, is still ducking Tom, and what Tom did what he said he was going to do a year ago, which was make Jon Jones retire without even fighting him. Jon Jones is now the biggest laughingstock of the UFC. His legacy's ruined, in my opinion. Everything he's done has had a lot of blemishes already. He's had a lot of the cheating allegations, his horrible antics outside of the UFC. Yeah, the steroid shit, and now he has this. His final fight just never took it against an interim champ. He was the disputed champion of the UFC for a year and 7 months. He was disputed by Tom Aspinall, and he did not have the nuts to unify it. And he talked about other matchups. He talked about an Ngannou matchup. He talked about an Alex Pereira matchup. He was open to these matchups. He would not fight Tom, and that is blatant ducking, blatant fear. And there's no other way to say it. Jon Jones is a huge bitch when it comes to Tom Aspinall, which makes sense. Tom Aspinall would destroy him, just demolish him. And he doesn't want any of that, which I would have respected if he would have just beat Cyril Gane, retired, beat Stipe Miocic, retired. But he kept dragging us along this whole time, only for him to fucking retire out of nowhere. That was the most dirty fucking move ever. And Jon Jones is the biggest piece of shit of all time, at least in my opinion now, in UFC history. So, now, we have to discuss Tom Aspinall and his plans going forward. Who do we put Tom Aspinall up against first for his first defense as the undisputed champion of the UFC heavyweight division? The obvious pick, the most relevant pick to me, the one that makes sense, kinda, is Cyril Gane. Cyril Gane has fought for the belt 2 other times before this. I think he fought for an interim belt too, so he's fought for the belt 3 times. And if he gets this shot, he will have fought for the belt 4 times. I think Tom Aspinall is going to destroy him. With that being said, Cyril Gane he's tricky and he's kind of tricky. He's an athletic heavyweight. He's going to be at least a little bit tricky. No heavyweight has been tricky enough to beat Tom Aspinall as of late. And arguably, Cyril Gane hasn't earned it. He beat Volkov, but it was a robbery where Volkov clearly won, in my opinion. They gave it to Cyril Gane. Really big bullshit. But what can you do? Cyril Gane beat Sergey Spivak, and then he got the Volkov fight, and then now we're here. This potentially could be a thing. I wouldn't love this, to be honest. Cyril Gane getting thrown into title fights over and over and over and over, never winning one. It's just sad. And if Cyril Gane does win, the reason I don't like this at all for the UFC going forward is if Cyril Gane does just somehow win, he pulls a miracle out of his ass and he wins, we have nothing at all at heavyweight in terms of star power or hype at all. The matchups you can make with Cyril Gane are zero interest. And then we have Cyril Gane as champion, who has lost to Jon Jones instantly, who has lost to Francis Ngannou. We have a completely disputed heavyweight champion by fighters, retired fighters, fighters in other organizations. Cyril Gane is poison to the UFC at the top of the division. I don't understand why they keep giving Gane kind of easier matchups. The Volkov matchup wasn't easy, but giving him Spivak, they should have given Cyril Gane Jailton Almeida right out the bat, because he would have gotten killed by Jailton Almeida, I think. His grappling is not very good. I think Cyril Gane through the Jon Jones fight, I think he got paid off. There's no way you can get beaten that easily by Jon Jones. But in the case he didn't, I think that's a telltale sign that Aspinall is going to run through him. That's just me. I think Aspinall is great grappling. He could probably take him down and submit him. Amazing power. He's probably going to knock him out. We haven't seen Tom's chin tested, but that's a good thing. He's only been hit like 3 times in the UFC. It makes sense. And it's good that we haven't seen his chin tested. But there is a lot of unknowns with Tom. The Cyril Gane matchup, to me, is plan B. I don't really like it. I think it's lame. I think there's little hype to be involved. It's probably what they're going to do, to be honest. But to me, there's one other matchup that I could see them doing that makes a lot of sense. And that's Alex Pereira coming up to heavyweight to fight Tom Aspinall at the latter half of his career for the heavyweight belt. Hear me out. So, the rankings don't make any sense. Pereira coming up to heavyweight and fighting Aspinall after losing to Magomed Ankalaev doesn't make any sense at all. But what I've noticed from the most recent fight night, from every heavyweight fight, pretty much besides Aspinall, every other heavyweight really sucks a bunch of dick. There's no hype. Pereira, coming up a weight class, who's known as he's a star for a reason. He's known for his power. He's been bulking up to heavyweight, and he's been teasing it on his social media. This makes a lot of sense to me as the substitute super fight that you would have gotten out of Jon Jones. To me, if the UFC is not super stupid retarded, you have a plan B. Jon Jones has never been reliable in the history of the UFC. Why would you rely on him to show up when you need him to? It doesn't make any sense. Pereira moving up to heavyweight, no matter what happens during the Ankalaev fight, makes sense to me as a plan B for the Jon Jones fallout. I think this is what they're probably going to do if they have some fun in their bones. They'll try to do this. I think it doesn't make a lot of sense, but in terms of cool matchups you can make at heavyweight, this is the only one for Tom Aspinall, and it's against someone that's not even in heavyweight, which is something you can say about the heavyweight division. It's completely shit. I'm gonna make a recap video about this weekend's card for the Fight Night card, but Curtis Blades versus Kuniev was on it. Way too close for comfort. Curtis Blades got it done, but it just showed that someone out of Bellator who's never fucking fought in the UFC came in and made it super close with the number 5 guy in Curtis Blades, who has been who's been trouble for a ton of ranked heavyweights. It just makes me feel so annoyed, and it really makes me think that the heavyweight division is just has zero depth whatsoever. Pereira coming up adds so much more like fun and hype to the division. He's been teasing it. He's probably going to fight like 1 or 2 or 3 more times, probably, maybe even 2 or 3 more times. There's a lot of people saying that Magomed Ankalaev has another matchup in the works. Yuri Prohaska's team is saying that Alex Pereira is not fighting Magomed next, which could be just hearsay. Who really knows? But to me, if the UFC is smart at all, this fight makes a lot of sense as a fallout to the Jon Jones disaster that has taken place. I would love this fight. I would watch this fight with no problems. I wouldn't give a fuck about the right of way of Pereira getting a title shot. I wouldn't care. Cyril Gane hasn't earned it. No heavyweight has earned it. He's already beaten every other heavyweight besides Cyril Gane, and Cyril Gane just got a robbery win. Pereira's coming off a loss to Magomed Ankalaev, but he's a double champion and the biggest star in the UFC. Give it to him. Why fucking not? Let's see if he can do it. And if he doesn't, more hype for Aspinall. If he does, that's new ground for the UFC and its star power. So, those are my thoughts about the matchups I would do for Tom Aspinall next. This one preferably, but obviously Cyril Gane's plan B. Jon Jones is a huge piece of shit. I'm glad he's gone. He strung us along for this long just to do this. It's so bad. But the world is now at peace that he's gone. And I'm very happy and I'm excited to see what heavyweight has to offer going forward. I will see you soon. Let me know what you think about my takes.